The regular season is all but wrapped up, which means a packed week of playoff action. Hello and welcome to another edition of Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Kim Pierce. No local team has been hotter than Naperville North football. The Huskies have won back-to-back games in thrilling fashion and are on the verge of punching their playoff tickets. Standing in the way is Lincoln Way East, a team that has not lost a regular season game in over 4 years.
After a thrilling win over Mattia Valley, Naperville Central takes its home field for the final time this season, searching for that first home win as the Red Hawks welcome Homewood Flossmoor. The Vikings are in playoff mode, sitting at 3-4 and needing to win out. The Vikings are forced to punt on their first drive, but catch a break because Mark Williams coughs up the ball and Jeremiah Williams falls on it to retain possession. Following the takeaway, QB Rashawn Coleman caps off the drive by using his feet and gets in for the first touchdown of the game to make it 7-0 Vikings. Red Hawks try out the run with Ryan Jacobson, and it pays off because Jacobson picks up 44 yards on the carry. Gavin Ellison tacks on a field goal, and the Red Hawks trail 7-3. Vikings go back to the run as Courtney Smith takes the handoff and hits the gas for a 29-yard touchdown, and it's a double-digit lead for the visitors. Homewood Flossmoor is looking for more points before halftime as they go for it on fourth down, but Vince Miller bats the ball away, and Central trails 14-3 at the break. In the second half, the Vikings get an early touchdown to lead 21-3, but that doesn't stop Central from finding its positive vibes. Jackson Loth finds a wide-open Jacobson, and he moves those chains just inside the 25-yard line. Loth completes the drive with a touchdown pass to James Bent, and it's a 21-10 ball game. In the fourth quarter, the Hawks look for another shot, but Loth throws an interception to Elijah Chavers, and it's Viking football. Intercepted by number 30. After the pick, Coleman unleashes his arm and passes to Miles Ellis, and it's another touchdown. That seals the deal as Homewood Flossmoor takes the 29-10 victory to keep its playoff hopes alive.
Number 3, Miles Ellis, for a Vikings touchdown.
Only 2 games remain in the regular season as Waubonsee Valley football travels to Lincoln Way Central. Coming off their first win of the season against Stagg, Waubonsee Valley looks to extend its win streak to 2 games. The Knights are sitting with a 6-1 record while on a 3-game win streak, looking to extend it to 4. These 2 teams faced off last season, and the Knights came out on top over the Warriors 29-13. Starting the game with an early stop on defense, it's third down for the green and gold offense. Warrior quarterback Nolan Alberson fakes the handoff to receiver Colin Ford and calls his own number for the big first down. Another third down for the Warrior offense. The Knights dial up a blitz, and the Warrior QB is sacked by an army of Knights, led by Lincoln Way linebacker Jalen Bird. The sack knocks the Warriors out of field goal range. At the end of the first quarter, the game remains scoreless. Early in the second quarter, Knights quarterback Drew Woodburn is rolling out to his left, finding senior tight end Nicholas Angelini for the first down. After a penalty takes away a touchdown, the Knights quarterback rolls out looking for his receiver. Woodburn scrambles back to his left, outracing the Waubonsee defense for a touchdown. The Knights get on the board as they lead 7-0. The Knights' offense is past midfield after forcing a Warrior punt. Woodburn steps up in the pocket, avoiding the Warrior pass rush, and finds his tight end, Des Gill, for a big gain. Moments later, Knights running back Justin Cobbs caps off the drive after this tough run for the touchdown. Lincoln Way Central leads 17-0 at the half after a field goal from kicker Zachary Trappier. Carrying his success into the second half, Knights' Justin Cobbs catches the pitch and cuts inside, breaking a tackle before he's racing down the sideline, and shortly after gets pushed out of bounds. Cobbs finishes the drive-off for a second touchdown of the game as the Knights lead 23-0 after a blocked extra point. The Warriors are continuing to fight late in the fourth as Nolan Alberson throws the bubble screen to receiver Gabriel Epting. Epting cuts inside before turning back outside for the first down. Looking to convert a 4th and short, the Waubonsee quarterback steps up into the pocket and takes off for the first down. 3rd and goal for the green and gold offense. Alberson is standing strong in the pocket before firing it into the end zone to find receiver Colin Ford for the touchdown. The Warriors trail 37-7 as time is not on their side. The score stays put, and at the end of the night, Lincoln Way Central gets the victory over Waubonsee Valley 37-7.
Welcome back to action under the Friday Night Lights. Tonight's matchup is the Lockport Porters hosting the Metea Valley Mustangs. Metea comes into tonight's matchup already eliminated from playoff contention after an overtime loss last week to Naperville Central, but they're still positive, seeking a win tonight. The Porters definitely want to keep their winning streak alive with a 3-game run coming into this face-off. Early in the first, the Mustangs are forced to punt, with Porter's Adam Kozak deep on the return. Kozak heads toward the sidelines, setting up Lockport with stellar field position. Kozak's punt return sets up the Porters for their opening touchdown, as Christopher Miller powers through the defense. Lockport strikes first and claims a 7-0 lead. Metea is faced with another 3rd down. Charles Larson drops back for the pass, but quickly initiates the scramble drill and picks up a key 1st down for the Mustangs. Larson is then connecting with Zolan Terry on the screen pass, and he takes care of the rest, securing Metea's 1st touchdown of the night as we're tied at 7 with 4 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter. Lockport forces another Metea punt. This time Kozak makes a defender miss, takes it outright, and is gone for a Porters touchdown as they lead 14-7 at the end of the first. The Porters pick off the Mustangs to start the second, and Brandon Meacher locates Tyree Sias for a big gain, setting them up at the 1-yard line. This leads to a Meacher tush push, extending Lockport's lead 21-7. The Mustangs defense pushes to rally their team back as William Strickland and Abe Burra pick up 2 massive sacks for the defense, forcing a Lockport punt. Metea faces 3rd down, and Larson connects with Christopher Jordan for the 3rd down conversion. Larson would then connect with a wide open Marcus Seward up the seam for a Mustang touchdown. Metea Valley trails 14-21 at the half. The Porters start the second half fast as Meacher keeps it to himself, setting up Lockport in the red zone early. Meacher connects with Kozak in the flats for his 2nd touchdown of the night, setting the tone for the remainder of the showdown. Metea would manage to score another touchdown from Seward, his 2nd of the night, but it's not enough for the Mustangs as they fall to Lockport 21-34. Metea takes on Homeward Flossmoor for their final game of the season next Friday. Lockport takes on Neuqua Valley for their final regular season game before they start playoff competition.
The Naperville North Huskies are on a 2-game win streak that's brought them to the brink of clinching a playoff appearance. Their challenge this week is the undefeated Lincoln Way East Griffins. Although an injury has sidelined their starting quarterback Jonas Williams, they're still undefeated on the year, and the Huskies are looking to improve to 5-3 ahead of their clash with Naperville Central next week. Early in the quarter, Lincoln Way East has quarterback Tyler Nolenberg punting on 4th down, and Gabe Hill just plows through the line for the block. Brady Marino falls on it, and Naperville North takes over at midfield.
Nolenberg's punt is blocked.
The Huskies look to pounce on the field position. Here's William Elo tumbling down the right side for a 16-yard gain. They go right back to Elo on the goal line. He comes down to the line and his teammates think he has it. There's a brief pause and the officials confirm the touchdown. 7-0 North with 1 minute left in the first quarter. Lincoln Way East shows off their rushing attack. Brody Gish takes it down the left side, but the hit by Griffin Jurjevic knocks the ball loose. There's a very long skirmish as the ref tries to clear the bodies. The North players are signaling that it's their ball, and the Griffins players aren't quite sure themselves. The ref finally signals that North's on top, and they get to start another drive in enemy territory. The Huskies waste no time getting the ball in Elo's hands, and the senior rockets down the left side to score his second touchdown of the game. And Naperville North have a 14-0 lead over an 8A powerhouse. The Huskies keep rolling. Lincoln Way East already faces third down inside their 30. They go to Gish, but he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. North take over after the punt and go into the half up 14-0. The Griffins are deep into North territory in the third quarter. Nolenberg steps back but is swarmed immediately by Gabe Hill. The senior continues his great night as he ends the Griffins' drive. 14-0 still in the Huskies' favor. North smells some opportunity in the passing game, but Josiah Nothacker's pass is intercepted by Casey Mickrit, and the Griffins look poised to strike. The Griffins go into the Wildcat. Gish takes a snap himself and storms to his left. Following his blocks, he cuts back in towards the end zone and gets the Griffins on the board. This could be the spark they need. Lincoln Way East interestingly go for two after the touchdown. The direct snap is to Gish again, but he gets stuffed at the goal line. North stop the momentum in its tracks and stay up 14-6 at the end of the third quarter. The Griffins do get the ball back though, and facing the pressure of the upset, Nolenberg delivers on 3rd and 10 to Blaze La Vista for the first down. It is halfway through the fourth quarter now and Gish lines up again in the Wildcat. This run goes more like a 2-point try as Gish is stuffed in the middle of the field. North take over on downs with 6 minutes remaining. North have a crucial 3rd and 6. Nohacker moves to his right, but the play quickly turns into a scramble. He runs all over but tumbles for the first down to crucially keep the clock going and bleed the Griffins of the rest of their timeouts. He does tweak his ankle on the play though. North have a 3rd down after draining another minute off the clock. Mesa Hill may not get the first down, but they leave only 45 seconds for Lincoln Way East's final possession. A few short passes got Lincoln Way East up the field. Here's their final chance from the 43. North only rushed 3 and Nolenberg steps up to throw. He launches it towards the end zone, but Jurjevic swaps it down. North win a shocker 14-6 to improve to 5-3 on the season. It's the first regular season loss for Lincoln Way East since October 1st, 2021 against Carl Sandburg. The Huskies will look to ride their momentum into the Crosstown Classic next week, played live on nctv17.org from North Central College next Friday.
It's senior night at Benedictine as the Bennett Academy Red Wings prep for the final home game of the season, and they welcome the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners. The visitors enter the game riding a 4-game winning streak and a 6-1 record. In their matchup last season, Nazareth defeated Bennett by a score of 51-12. On the opening drive of the game, Nazareth has already advanced past the 50-yard line. Jackson Fela fakes it to the back and then throws to his left, but Bennett's Dominic Tamala is there for the interception. Later in the quarter, the Roadrunners move the ball all the way to the 1-yard line, and Justin Watson finishes the drive with the first touchdown of the game. Nazareth goes up 7-0 midway through the first quarter. After another stop, the Roadrunners are back on the move. This is Charles Calhoun with the carry, and he evades multiple defenders and rumbles downfield for a 20-yard gain. Later in the drive, Dylan Wellner gets the handoff on the goal line and puts another one on the board for Nazareth. It's now 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Now in the second quarter, this is Calhoun with another carry, and this time he finds a seam up the middle and then cuts back to the left, and no one is going to catch him. The third rushing touchdown of the game makes it 21-0 Nazareth. With 2 minutes left in the half, the Roadrunners are at the 50. Fela is dropping back to pass, and he has all day. He lets it fly deep and hits Jake Sestone in stride downfield. Nobody is near him as he cruises into the end zone, and now it's 28-0 heading into the break. Fast forward to the second half, Nazareth is up 35-0. But after this run up the middle by Calhoun, the Roadrunners extend their lead to 42-0 midway through the third quarter. After starting quarterback Benjamin Clevenger left the game with an injury, the Bennett offense had some difficulty. But the Red Wings put together a good drive here, and it's capped off with this touchdown pass from Cristiano Diomede to Luke Doyle. Bennett is on the board in the third quarter. With the game in hand, the Red Wings are looking for another score. Diomede throws the fade to Ben Albert in the corner of the end zone, and he secures the contested catch. That's the second touchdown for Bennett, but Nazareth takes this one 42-14.
Coming off a narrow loss to Naperville North, Neuqua Valley football needs to win to remain playoff eligible. Their first test is a trip to Orland Park to take on Sandburg as the Eagles enter off back-to-back losses and look to right the ship entering the postseason. Neuqua starts with the ball and gets the ground and pound game going early. Drake Meneke keeps it himself and scoots down the left side into Eagles territory for a 21-yard run before being decked out of bounds. A few plays later in the red zone, Neuqua is sticking to the ground as Andy Barkley gets the handoff and sidesteps multiple defenders. He scurries down the right side and is in with a 20-yard touchdown run as the Wildcats strike first with an opening drive score. Sandburg responds with a ground game of their own. Their first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Luke Bashorka, and he jukes out two Neuqua defenders and dashes forward into Wildcats territory, where he is dragged out of bounds after a 61-yard run to get the ball rolling. Now in the red zone 2 plays later, Jeffrey Bellick fakes the handoff and finds the opening, racing in for the touchdown as Sandburg responds with an opening drive score of their own to tie it up at 7. Same score at the end of the second quarter. Sandburg is driving and looks to take the lead. The give is to Quinn Durkin, who runs into traffic but reverses course and turns up the field for a huge gain. He is pushed out of bounds at the 41 to put the Eagles on the verge of field goal range. 2 plays later, they go to the air as Bellick, with a defender in his face, throws it to Durkin, who comes down with it at the 29. Sandburg kicks a field goal to take their first lead of the game, up 10-7 at halftime. The Eagles get the ball to start the second half and stick to the air as Jeffrey Bellick throws the screen to Bashorka, who does the rest. With a convoy of blockers ahead of him, he's going untouched down the sideline for a 65-yard catch-and-run touchdown. Sandburg opens up a 10-point lead to start the half. Bashorka also becomes the all-time rushing leader in school history. On the ensuing Neuqua possession, they're inside Eagles territory and go for it on 4th and 9. Meneke rolls to his right and throws deep for Rogan Nelson. The pass falls incomplete, but a defensive pass interference call against Sandburg gives new life to the Wildcats. They would take advantage as Barkley gets the pitch and sidesteps the defense again. He lunges in for his second touchdown as number 5 is in from 5 yards out to cut the lead down to 17-14. But on the next Eagles drive, Bashorka gets it rolling as he takes the rock and pushes past the Neuqua defense again. He rumbles into Wildcats territory for a 38-yard run to end the third quarter. Same drive in the fourth, down in the red zone. Bellick takes it himself again and surges in for his second rushing touchdown of the night to put Sandburg ahead by 10 once again. But Neuqua isn't done yet. Meneke drops back to pass with 3 defenders approaching. He manages to split all 3 of them and takes off running, slicing his way past the defense and turns a potential loss into a 23-yard run to keep the Cats' hopes alive. 4 plays later on 4th down, Meneke drops back again and has plenty of time. He finds a wide-open Barkley on the sideline and goes in for his 3rd touchdown of the night as Neuqua closes back to 3 with just over 2 minutes left to play. Now Sandburg's ball facing 3rd and 7. They need a first down to claim the win. Bellick takes it himself again and runs into a wall of defenders, but with help from his linemen, he's able to push forward and have just enough for the first down to ice the game. Sandburg claims victory by a 24-21 score over Neuqua Valley to move to 6-2. They end their season with a huge matchup against Lincoln Way East on Thursday night, while Neuqua Valley is eliminated from playoff contention.
After the break, we'll take a closer look at the heart-stopping Huskies with their late-game heroics on the gridiron.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to buying a car, you want a deal that's fair, and that's exactly what you'll get at Fair Oaks Ford. It's why J.D. Power has named us the best customer experience in the business 4 years in a row. You know you'll experience fairness every step of the way. Right now, it's all about the zeros. Get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models. Fair pricing, fair deals. Fair Oaks Ford. It's right there in our name. Visit us on Ogden Avenue in Naperville or at fairoaksford.com.
Naperville North football is the only local team who will be competing in the postseason this fall. The Huskies earned their spot thanks to finding their way to wins in the clutch. Patrick Cotto has more on this resilient blue and orange roster in our latest feature story presented by Fair Oaks Ford.
As high school football hits the final week of the regular season, Naperville North just locked up its 5th straight playoff appearance, improving to 5-3. Multiple nail-biting games are in the mix, a comeback victory over Neuqua Valley in the final minutes of Week 7, and clinching 2 overtime wins, most recently over the Sandburg Eagles in Week 6. Sean Drendel says this kind of comeback grit is what the team needs to keep the playoff streak alive.
It just makes you a little bit more playoff ready. Tight games, knowing how to finish games when you need a score, when you need a stop by your defense. We're starting to get those things. Like last weekend, we got both of those late in the game, and it was a great environment, great high school experience for our kids.
Team confidence on both sides of the ball is another factor that helps the Huskies outlast opponents when their backs are against the wall.
We have a lot of heart and a lot of belief in our guys. You know, we kind of call it the brotherhood. And like with our team, you know, we keep everything together and we just keep fighting every single game. It's really important for us.
I've had a lot of confidence, and our offensive line, our defense too, and like all these close games. I feel like William Elo has a lot of confidence. I mean, he punched in that last ball against Sandburg, and that was huge.
Besides Elo controlling the ground game, senior quarterback Josiah Nothacker continues to build on his first year under center. Nothacker has led game-winning drives and victories over Libertyville, Sandburg, and Neuqua Valley. The signal caller credits all the preparation and practice, so he's ready for these late-game scenarios.
During practice, we do a lot of 2-minute drills, and it's not just straight up only 2 minutes. Coach Arthurs sets up scenarios. So like some days we'll have 30 seconds, 1 timeout. Some days we'll have no timeouts with a minute. And that really, I feel like that prepares us a lot.
This final week could see another close finish as the Huskies take on crosstown rival Naperville Central at North Central College. The Huskies are looking to secure win number 6 after a big-time win over state powerhouse Lincoln Way East. Even though the Redhawks have won the last 2 matchups against the Blue and Orange, this year's Huskies are battle-tested and ready for the intense environment the Crosstown Classic always brings.
We've been in playoff mode since 2 weeks ago. So, we beat Sandburg in a barn burner, and then we beat Neuqua in another one. So, we've already been in that mode. So I think our kids are ready to go.
Every team in our league is really good this year. Every single team is going to battle. I mean, that's kind of how it was last year, and this year it's no different, right? So every single game, we know it's going to be close. We just got to battle it out and try to find ways to win.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
6 local schools are spread out among 3 2A girls tennis sectionals in hopes of making it to state. Let's see the highlights of all of them, starting with the 3 District 204 schools at Metea Valley.
Here we are at the end of the DVC season for girls tennis, as the conference tournament hits the courts at Metea Valley, featuring all 6 DVC schools. The Saturday portion shows all the final rounds, with athletes battling for that top spot. The top court is a true battle of valleys and rallies, as Niqua's Jennifer Tang takes on Waubonsie Valley's Lydia Peranto, with both players having phenomenal seasons. Here's Tang with the serve, and Peranto with the solid backhand for the return. Tang is too powerful, and the ball goes long for a Warrior point. The Wildcat serves once again, and the Warrior sets up a high ball. Tang plays a fierce forehand for an aggressive shot, but Peranto forces the error and walks away victorious on the top court for singles play. Jumping over to fourth doubles play, and it's a showdown for third place between Waubonsie Valley Sahana Cuddlingham and Isha Thiru against North's Mayhek Sawant and Esther Forster. Waubonsie serves and North returns, but it's great defense at the net of the green team of Cuddlingham and Thiru. It's another Warrior serve, and another great defensive play at the net for a perfect placement on the side of Thiru and Cuddlingham once again. However, Forster and Sawant aren't stopping the fight, and here's Forster with a stellar power shot on the forehand swing for a Husky point. Now it's Sawant with the serve, and Waubonsie sends it back to find Sawant ready for the rally. The Warriors send a high one, and Forster meets it with the dominating defensive move for the point. However, it's the Waubonsie pair claiming victory. Now over to third place for the third singles matchup between Waubonsie's Mira Jamal and Niqua's Neha Kumar. The Wildcat serves, and the rally begins with forehands from Kumar and backhands from Jamal. Kumar sends it long, and Jamal sends a strong return. There's an opening for Kumar to send it short, but Jamal displays an amazing get to keep the ball alive. Kumar capitalizes the shot and places it in no man's land for the Wildcat point. A great battle between the rival schools, but Kumar walks away with a third place victory. The last court to finish off the day is a 2-singles showdown between Central's Rina Shu and North's Mihika Gokale. It's a long battle and neither side moves an inch. Here's Gokale with the serve, and the two immediately start trading strong forehands to the deep corners and the sidelines. Gokale sends a backhand over the net, and Shu sends it back herself, only to be met with a Husky forehand to a Red Hawk forehand. Corner shots from both sides, then backhand trades. Right back to a dueling forehand rally, leading Gokale pushing the ball to the short court, and Shu responds with a strategic placement to the short court as well. Gokale keeps it alive, but Shu capitalizes and sends it deep for the point. Still in a battle as the two keep sending back their swings, though it's Gokale's turn as she targets a spot out of Shu's range for a point. Gokale continues to show her strength and gets a favor as Shu fails to send it back. Gokale puts on a show to become the 2-singles champion. Overall, Nequa Valley walks away with the DVC championship. The senior duo of Sophia Choi and Kylie Tran finished their years of playing together with the victory on the top doubles court and a DVC win.
A year after winning the 1A state championship, Bennett Academy Girls Tennis travels to compete in the 2A York Sectional. Starting with the singles championship match between Bennett's Emma Malik and York's Caroline Cohn. In the semifinals, the Red Wing freshmen got the victory 6-3, 6-1 over York's Rosie DiCristofaro. On the other side, York's CJ Cohn earned the 2-set victory 6-0 against Wheaton-Warrenville South's Anna Intersagen. Malik serves the ball over and rallies back and forth with Cohn. The two continue to exchange returns until it comes to an end as Cohn can't keep the back and forth alive. Coming up big in the second set after the York serve, the Red Wings' first return goes high into the air and follows it up with a rapid return just out of the reach of Cohn for the point. Later in the set, Cohn's strong serve is out of the reach of the Red Wing. The ace helps CJ Cohn take both sets by a 6-1 score to win the single sectional title. Moving over to the doubles championship between Wheaton-Warrenville South's Riley and Reese Lepsey and Bennett's Lily Lopatka and Megan McCarthy. The Lepsies enter off their 6-1, 6-0 victory over York in the semifinal. The Red Wing duo got the victory by winning the final 2 sets, 7-6, 6-2, over the number 2 Wheaton South duo. Bennett's Megan McCarthy comes up big with 2 great volleys as her second return is just out of reach for the point. Lopatka and Riley Lepsy exchange returns along the back line. After a backhanded return from Riley to keep the rally going, the Tiger approaches the net and splits the Red Wing duo for the tough point. The Wheaton South duo goes on to win the doubles sectional championship 6-0, 6-1. Wheaton Warrenville South Tennis gets the sectional victory with 28 points. Finishing in second with 26 points is York, as Bennett finishes in third place with 24 points. Malik, McCarthy, and Lopatka are all heading to the state tournament.
Due to rain in the forecast, the Downers Grove South 2A Girls Tennis Sectional was relocated to the Naperville Tennis Club, where participants from Naperville Central and Naperville North are competing to bring home a plaque for their school. We'll begin the action with the third place doubles game featuring 2 Naperville Central pairs, Grace Kistler and Claire Cameron against the duo of Amy Yang and Shaylee Ha. Here, Cameron hits a backhand, but Yang answers with one of her own. It's well out of reach for the point. However, Kistler and Cameron win the first set 7-6. Now in the second set, Shaylee Ha hits a softball over the net. Cameron charges forward and puts it in a tough spot for the return. Cameron and Kistler win the second set as well with the score 6-2 and claim third place in the doubles bracket. Moving on to the doubles championship, we have Zana Chien and Mikaelin Waller-Lee from Naperville North facing Olivia Tan and Catherine Whitmer from Downers Grove North. On the far court here, you can see Waller-Lee track down the ball near the baseline. Tan returns it, but Chien responds with a strong swing to end the rally. It's a point for Naperville North, but Downers Grove North takes the first set 6-3. In the second set, Chan with the serve and Tan responds with a quick backhand. Neither one of the Huskies can reach it. Downers Grove North takes the point and goes on to win the doubles championship in 2 sets. Now we move on to our singles third place match between Naperville Central's Kavya Parameswar and Naperville North's Anda Elezi. We'll pick the action up in the third set. Parameswar hits a strong forehand down the sideline, and it's just out of Elezi's reach. Parameswar takes the point. Later on, Elezi and Parameswar are going back and forth in a long rally, until Parameswar is unable to return the low shot from Elezi. Elezi is closing in on her second set. Now Elezi is on match point. After some exchanges, Parameswar's shot is just a little long, and that earns Elezi the win for the match. With that victory, Naperville North and Naperville Central are tied in sectional points, but Central wins the tiebreaker with a higher count of state qualifiers.
Coming up next, we'll wrap up the final week of the boys soccer regular season with the DBC Championship on the line.
Oh, hey, Dick Tracy. Thanks for reminding me now is the perfect time to grab your tickets for NCTV 17's The Morning Show. I'm going to be hosting this high-energy fundraiser as we share stories of what makes Naperville so great, all while supporting our community's nonprofit television station. Time's ticking, so buy your tickets today.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Naperville North boys soccer has won 31 DuPage Valley Conference championships. Can the Huskies make it 32 on their home turf against Neuqua Valley? Let's head to the highlights.
The conference title is on the line as Neuqua Valley boys soccer take on Naperville North in an intense showdown. With a DVC record of 5-0, the Huskies are looking to close out the regular season with a conference title. The Wildcats have a chance to upset the Huskies' record and add another win to their total this season. Husky midfielder Sam Hess helps the North offense apply pressure as forward Josh Peterson maneuvers past the Wildcat defense. Nequa goalie Oscar Marcinkowski goes for the slide tackle on the Husky, putting an end to the danger. Halfway through the first half, North's Peterson pushes to get past the Wildcat defense. Peterson slows down to get an opening and gets it past the goalie for the goal. North strikes first as they lead 1-0. A corner kick attempt for Nequa. Wildcat Alex Serra goes for the header, and it's a near miss as Nequa continues to challenge North. The Husky defense stands strong against the Wildcat pressure. The first half is coming to an end as the Huskies fight to add to their lead, as Hess and Brian Biederman find Colin McMahon for the goal. Going into the second half, North leads 2-0. Early in the second half, Husky Josh Peterson has a chance to extend the Husky lead, but is denied by Wildcat Brendan Bauer. Another opportunity for North with Luke Bauska on the attack. However, Nequa's Logan Yu challenges Bauska to force a kick, and then Bauer defends the goal to keep the Husky point at bay. Turning defense into offense as Biederman sets up Peterson with the perfect pass and only the goalie to beat. The Nequa goalie with a great slide to the ground, stopping Peterson's first attempt, but the second shot finds the back of the net. North leads 3-0 with 28-16 remaining in the second half. Moments later, Peterson continues his relentless pursuit with a chance for the hat trick. Peterson gets the angle on the Nequa defender as his shot sneaks past the goalie for another score. North leads 4-0. Naperville North gets the commanding 4-0 victory over Nequa Valley, earning themselves their 32nd DVC championship.
We've got a breezy fall evening as we head into the final week of the regular season in boys soccer. It's a 203 versus 204 matchup as Waubonsie is hosting their final home game of the season, taking on the visiting Naperville Central. The Red Hawks enter the match tonight coming off a win against Marmion, while the Warriors also enter tonight coming off a victory in their last matchup against Yorkville Christian. 5 minutes in and Logan Godfrey is at the helm for a corner kick. Teammate Eli Gerald is ready to catch it with the header, sending it to the back of the net. The Redhawks are off and running and on the board first, up 1-0. A few minutes later, Waubonsie looks to level the scoreboard. Einar Amzola gets a hold of it in the crossfire, but Central goalkeeper Victor Kopecki is there to stop it to take control. With time winding down in the first half, it's Amzola going for the long-range attempt. This kick is close and bounces off the top crossbar. The Redhawks still lead 1-0 at the break. The Redhawks get momentum again early in the second half. Brady Strang picks up the loose ball and finds Eli Gerald, who shoots it to the back of the net for a brace. Central now leads by 2. Now in the 63rd minute, the Redhawks offense continues to steamroll past Waubonsie. Eli Gerald and Michael White work together. White sneaks it behind his back and Gerald's kick sends it home. He lands the perfect hat trick to bring Central up by 3. Central looks to add to their commanding lead. Off the throw-in from Ryan Gervais, there's a header attempt, but Waubonsie goalkeeper Sebastian Herrera reels it in and makes a big save to get some steam to the Warriors. The Redhawks continue to dominate. Gerald is on the move, this time on the assist side, as he finds junior Jay Larson for the chip-in goal. Central now leads by 4. With time running out, Waubonsie looks for any sort of lifeline. They get it with a goalkeeper goal from Central, and the Warriors are awarded the tally. However, it's too little too late. Central claims victory, winning 4-1. The Redhawks will face Plainfield East for their postseason matchup on Monday, which is a win or go home game. We've got a breezy fall evening for boys soccer. Eli Gerald has scored not 1 but 2 goals this matchup to give the Huskies a 2-0 lead. Apparently Gerald was still hungry, so his teammate Michael White feeds him the ball once again. Then Gerald sends it to the back of the net for his 3rd goal of the night. Take another look at that hat trick kick and see how White does a fantastic job claiming the ball for himself and then sending it right over to Jarrell. From there, Jarrell's footwork does the talking as he brings home the hat trick for Central Boys Soccer and our Play of the Week.
Conference cross-country meets are here, which means the first of 4 straight high-stakes races on Saturdays. Waubonsie Valley returns as host of the boys and girls DVC races.
Waubonsie Valley High School is the host of the 2025 DVC Girls Cross Country Championships on a partly cloudy Saturday morning. All 6 schools in the DVC are well represented in this year's competition, including defending champs Naperville North, who is looking for a 14th straight DVC title. The runners are off at the sound of the gun. At the start, the whole group splits into 2, with Naperville Central sophomore Charlotte Danahy leading her Red Hawk team out in front, while the rest form a tighter pack behind the leader. As we hit the first mile, Danahy and Naperville North's Shania Tandon have a good lead with more runners approaching. The next group includes Nequa's Ariana Namvar, Matia's Kaylee Russell, and Naperville North runners Rihanna Tandon and Chloe Pio. Carly Ernst of Naperville Central is currently running in the top 7, just ahead of more runners like Catherine Heap and Danya Shanmuga Sundrum from Waubonsie. At the baseball fence, Danahy has a considerable lead and looks to hold off Shania Tandon and Chloe Pio, who are in the top 3 for the Huskies. Russell and Namvar are neck and neck with each other, as Carly Ernst trails a little bit behind. Remaining in the top 8 are Red Hawk Emma Breesy and Husky Josephine Olsen. With the sun shining on the grass, Danahy maintains her comfortable advantage while approaching the 2-mile mark. The top 4 remain the same, with Tandon, Pio, and Namvar staying together. Kaylee Russell runs in the top 5 along with Josephine Olsen. DeKalb's Alice Schwantes is able to hold her own in the top 7. Eliana White from North is leading a trio of Red Hawk runners, Hannah Z, Eloise Graft, and Emma Breesy. Waubonsie Valley's Catherine Heap and Matia Valley's Srinika Gundapalli are also in the top 15, with Valentine Abramov from North and Valentina Namvar from Nequa. Mia Bertolini from Waubonsie is around the top 20. Approaching the finish line, Charlotte Danahy of Central takes home the individual win by over 20 seconds with a time of 18:22. Coming in second place is Shania Tandon with a time of 18:44. Rounding out third place is Ariana Namvar with a time of 18:50. Running into the top 7 are Matia Valley's Kaylee Russell, DeKalb's Alex Schwantes, and Naperville North's Chloe Pio and Josephine Olsen. Catherine Heap, Hannah Z, Eloise Graft, Eliana White, and Emma Breesy finish out the top 12. The depth of Naperville North helps the Huskies to a 14th consecutive conference crown with a score of 39. Naperville Central with a strong showing as well in second place at 49. Addison Gusky, Delaney Fastabend, and Anoki Raykar help Nequa Valley finish in third, with Matia Valley in fourth and Waubonsie Valley in fifth. DuPage Valley Conference Boys Cross Country is in action at Waubonsie Valley High School. 6 DVC schools in total are represented, including the defending champs, Nequa Valley. At the sound of the starter gun, the runners sprint off the line. The race gets off to a good start from Grayson Meek and Jesse Gadauskas from Nequa, who get in front early, while the Red Hawks of Naperville Central have an early pack forming. Running past the tennis courts, Meek and Gadauskas, along with Wildcat teammate Anish Bhagwat, are taking the lead. Naperville North Simon Reckamp and Jackson Trudy are going neck and neck, with teammate Shreyas Meyer not far behind. Rounding out the top 10 is the Red Hawk quad, which includes Manny Nahara, Derek Williamson, Vaughn Shearer, and Jack Anderson, staying together as more runners approach the first mile. Going downhill, the lead remains the same for both Meek and Gadauskas. However, now Bhagwat is right between Trudy and Reckamp. The Red Hawks go from a quad to a trio with Nahara, Shearer, and Williamson in the top 5. Jack Anderson is trailing behind Shreyas Meyer. 2 more Wildcats, Garrett Anderson and Rayansh Bhagwat, run with Mustang Henry Faber, who is keeping pace in the top 15. Approaching mile 2, Meek and Gadauskas continue a strong lead for the Wildcats. Next is Manny Nahara and Derek Williamson, followed by Reckamp and Trudy and Anish Bhagwat, while Vaughn Shearer runs solo behind the Wildcat. More runners approaching mile 2 include Jack Anderson and Shreyas Meyer, along with a pack of Wildcats including Rayansh Bhagwat, Garrett Anderson, Joseph Clifton, and Aiden Poor. Henry Faber, Ashutosh Sabudi, and Dylan Bennett Garza from Mattia Valley are in the top 25 with Akshuth Randeep and Jasdeep Grover. Andy Duran from DeKalb is also around the top 20. Going to the finish line, it's the Wildcat duo of Jesse Gadauskas and Grayson Meek, finishing in first and second, with Gadauskas crossing the line 5 seconds ahead of his teammates at 14:50. Taking third is Naperville Central's Manny Nahara with a time of 15:18. Jackson Trudy runs in fourth place for the Huskies. Derek Williamson rumbles into fifth place, while Simon Reckamp finishes in sixth. Anish Bhagwat, Vaughn Shearer, and Shreyas Meyer finish up next. Jack Anderson from Central crosses in 10th. Toby Slider gives the Redhawks another top 20 finisher, with Brian Halstead and Lucas Keene also finishing in the top 20 for North. Bucco Valley comes home with its fourth consecutive DVC Conference Championship, with 7 runners finishing in the top 15. Naperville Central finishes in second, with Naperville North in third.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes.
Yeah.
But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
Two dealerships side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Right now, get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville.
The girls' swimming and diving sectionals are just a few weeks away, but before we get there, Bennett Academy visits the Oswego Co-op to close out the regular season.
It's the final weeks of the girls' swimming and diving regular season, with Bennett Academy making the annual trip to Oswego East to take on the Oswego Co-op. The prep for the postseason is underway, with the conference meets being held next weekend. Starting on the diving boards with a pair of elite performers. Bennett senior Ellen Eisman set the Red Wings 6-dive record earlier in the season with a score of 243.75. Eisman does not quite reach that mark in this matchup, but she still records a solid 229.20 overall. The defending state champion Kate Malm from the Oswego Co-op takes the board and shows her stellar skill set. A performance of 295.80 dazzles the crowd as Malm looks ready to repeat as state champ next month. Oswego picks up a pair of wins in the 200 medley relay and the 200 freestyle before the 200 individual medley hits the water. In lane 3 is Abigail Morrissey from Bennett Academy. Teammate Tate McDonald swims in lane 5. Sophia Torres from Oswego is in lane 4, with teammate Claire Flanagan in lane 6. McDonald gets the narrow edge early in the butterfly, but Morrissey takes control when they flip to the backstroke. She builds a lead and holds it through the breaststroke and closes things out in the freestyle with a winning time of 2:13. Torres comes in second, with Flanagan in third. A much quicker race comes up next in the 50-yard freestyle. Molly Gonzalez from Oswego swims in lane 4 against Red Wing competitors Claire Donnelly in lane 5 and Eleanor Parsonen in lane 3. It's a tight race throughout, but in the end, Gonzalez just edges out Donnelly for the win as Pearson and Parsonen take third and fourth. After a brief break, Beatrix Pearson from Bennett is back in the water in the 100 fly in lane 3. Ava Cabrera from Oswego is neck and neck with the Red Wing in lane 4. The race goes right to the wall with Cabrera winning by a nose with a time of 101.08, with Pearson at 101.72. Another race that goes down to the wire is the 200 freestyle relay. Bennett in lane 4 uses Abigail Morrissey to start things off, followed by Pearson, Parsonen, and Donnelly. Oswego has Maddie Liska to start things off, followed by Lauren Sidorsky, Molly Gonzalez, and Victoria Jordan. Neither team can gain much of an edge as the race progresses, as the co-op holds a minimal lead. With the anchor legs fighting for the finish, Jordan is able to hold off Donnelly for the win by just over a half second. Just a few races remaining when the 100-yard breaststroke dives in the pool. Mia DiGiovanni from Oswego swims in lane 4, with Claire Donnelly back in action in lane 3. A great push off the wall from Donnelly gives her a slight advantage on the final turn. DiGiovanni gains ground with a furious finish. Even though the video seems to show that Donnelly hits the wall first, the scoring gives the win to DiGiovanni. A very close race regardless. Maddie Liska from Oswego comes in third. Oswego with a sizable lead on the team scoreboard, but Bennett has several strong performances. Abigail Morrissey looks to end on a high note in the 100 backstroke from lane 3. The top competition comes from Vera Skubiak in lane 4 from Oswego. Morrissey is able to hold off the other swimmers to earn her second win of the night with a time of 1 minute, 0.48 seconds, less than a half second ahead of Skubiak. Oswego takes the team victory by the score of 123 to 62.
It's the 2025 DVC Girls Cross Country Championship, and the runners are off at the sound of the gun. At the start, the whole group splits into two, with Naperville Central sophomore Charlotte Danahy leading the Red Hawk team out in front. Danahy takes the early lead and carries it all the way to the finish line. At our next marker, Danahy has now grown a considerable lead, and she's not slowing down, as she maintains her comfortable advantage while approaching the 2-mile mark. The finish line is in sight, and Charlotte Danahy of Naperville Central takes home the individual win with a huge lead. She's over 20 seconds ahead of the competition to walk away with a time of 18:22 and our Play of the Week.
We end this week's show on the volleyball courts as the battle for the top of the DVC standings continues to heat up. Naperville North welcome Mattia Valley with the Huskies celebrating senior night.
It's the final home match for Naperville North girls volleyball, so that means it's senior night. The Huskies honor 6 seniors for their hard work and dedication, and now aim to keep the momentum going with the win over Mattia Valley. The Mustangs are looking for revenge after a 2-set loss to the Huskies on September 30th. Huskies kick off the party early in set 1. Grace Anderson sets up Olivia Meyer, who sends the ball back for the point. North keeps its foot on the gas as Jocelyn Dramaz answers the call with the heads-up tap, and that culminates in a 10-3 lead for North. However, the Mustangs start up their block party. That begins with Olivia Stewart denying access to give momentum for the black and gold. The next contestant for a block is Reyna Parak. It takes some time because of a rally on the court, but eventually Parak seizes her opportunity and gets the block to go. Mattia trails 13-10. North cleans up the mess and regains control thanks to Jessica Ditko running to the right side and displays the kill. Despite the slow start, Mattia keeps on grinding. Both teams keep the rally alive, but once the Mustangs get the green light, Ashley Ward sets up Annie Burke, who uses 2 hands and lands the push on the other side, and this set is tied at 18. Now we're tied at 20, so who wants the lead back? It looks promising for Mattia, but Ditko steps up right in the middle and fires an aggressive kill. Set point coming up for the Huskies, and it's Emma Chang stealing the show with the point, and North wins set 1, 25-21. Huskies start set 2 the same, and that's with more kills. This time it's Joelle Pye Blacknard hitting the kill button to open up a 5-1 lead. Though Mattia climbs back into it, trailing 8-6. A couple of North digs helps the Mustangs set things up, and Olivia Stewart caps it off with a kill. More seniors on the north side are stepping in, with Kate Provenzano being the lucky contestant to jump up for the kill. Things keep falling in the home team's favor. After a great save by the Mustangs, the Huskies show off a better response, with Pye Blacknard hitting a laser into the opposing face for the kill, and it's 17-10 Dogs. As for the Mustangs, they're not out of it. The kills don't work, giving the momentum to North, but remember they can block if need be. So Perek shuts the door in front of Ditko for the block, and Mattia trails 21-16. However, the Huskies stopped the late surge with match point coming up. Mattia gets hit with an error, and that's it. Naperville North takes the senior night win in straight sets 25-21 and 25-22.
And that wraps up the latest episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. Next week, it's all playoffs all the time. You can find all of our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. And of course, you can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Kim Pierce. We'll see you again next week.